here with Alfredo Lewis, the lovely Alfredo Lewis, and we're going to talk a little bit about Booksy and a whole bunch of other fun things you've got going on.
I do. I wear many hats. I'm a global Booksy ambassador. I'm also the global spokesperson for Matrix. I'm a global brand ambassador and educator for K18. I'm a master stylist with Bellamy Hair Pro and also a partner with Gamma Pro. So,
Busy.
yes,
Yeah.
busy and grateful. Super, super grateful. I love it. I love what I do.
What have you been doing here this weekend? A bit of here, there, and everywhere?
So today was my first day at the show. I came in last night, but it's been great. I've been all over the show floor. It's really crowded this year at the show. I love seeing that. To me, it's the first time that I've seen pre-2020 crowds.
Yeah.
So it's great to see the show back in full effect and see all the brands here and all the artists. It's fun.
And as an educator yourself, I hear that you and Phillip Wolff have been up to some pretty cool planning of a tour with Booksy. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're on tour with Booksy
Already on
right
tour.
now, and it's been amazing. We actually had our first stop of the tour here, close to here in Florida, and it was sold out. It was amazing, and then we just did our last stop at Mr. Official's Salon Barbershop in Chicago, and I was so touched because it was on a holiday. That was actually a little bit of a oops,
Yeah.
but we had already sold so many tickets, and just that these stylists came out on a holiday to invest in their education. There wasn't a single empty seat. That meant a lot to us. It just shows how hungry I think people are for education.
Yeah.
And we have our next stop with Booksy, the Boss Up Tour, July 31st in LA, which is our home. And we had to get a bigger venue because it's sold out. So life is good. And we have a huge announcement coming tomorrow. And I guess I can tell you.
You can tell me.
But we're going to add 3 dates to the Boss Up Tour with Booksy Biz. And we're going to be coming to Salt Lake City, Utah.
Great.
Atlanta, Georgia, and Las Vegas, Nevada throughout the end of the year.
Exciting.
So super excited about everything we're doing with Booksy. They've been amazing to partner with on the tour. Yeah.
And what will stylists take away from the classes that you're having?
So of course with Booksy, like their whole thing this year is about bossing up, and I felt like that fit perfect with Phillip and I. It was like a perfect marriage. So there's a business aspect. It's a masterclass in business, blonding, hair color, formulation, and hair cutting and styling. It really is. It's an
Bit of
8
everything.
to 9 hour class. We start the day with like a forum, honestly, and we let the class lead the way. They ask questions. We start the conversation, but then they'll sort of guide us. And it's like about the industry, how to build your clientele, how to make up, how to charge more, how to make more money behind the chair, and the possibilities. Because a lot of hairstylists and just people don't know the possibilities out there and what a professional career this is. So we really try to teach that and upskill them and uplift them.
And what advice do you have about, building your online brand and creating a name for yourself, through social media? Because it is important, but there's ways to go about it.
There really is. And I think, I always tell people that too, the goal doesn't have to be to have 1 million followers. That's great if you want to educate, if you want to reach the masses, if you want to be on big stages and work with brands like I do. Of course, that's part of it. But I think that, that same formula goes into having a social media presence for your salon or your clientele. You have to be open to change, and that's something I struggle with. I don't like change, but I've had to reinvent myself. Like the first push for me on social media was a total accident. I built a team of hairstylists with a brand, and I ended up collaborating with them, and it gave me a following. And then I'm like, okay, what do I do with this? And then that just grew from there. And then all of a sudden I had my own following, and I was working with my own, and then I became a brand myself. And then I have a brand pretty much with Phillip now. Like we have this brand together, which I love. But I've had to pivot and get uncomfortable and change. It used to be pretty pictures, and then it was video. And I would like, I definitely was one of the first probably to jump into that video moment, and I love video. I was always a fan of MTV, and when I was growing up, I'm a child of the 80s, and to me it was like a mini music video of my hair transformation with music. But music is still fun a little bit on IG, but on TikTok and some of these other apps, they want to hear your voice, they want to hear you talk, they want to know that you have a soul in there and a personality and what you think. Sometimes they even want to know what you believe, what your integrity is, and what you stand for. So you have to change with it. And that was tough for me at first because I'm actually, believe it or not, a very private person. But I've started sharing a little bit more about like who I am and how I feel, in a very positive and uplifting way.
Share the biggest misconception people have about running your own beauty business.
Okay, so the biggest misconception I think people have about running your own beauty business. I mean, I think nowadays that term could be a million things. Like, is your own beauty business, and that's, it's the possibilities, like I said earlier, about being a hairstylist. Is your business you in a salon that somebody else owns,
Right.
but you're renting a chair, or you're independent and your business is your own business? You're marketing yourself through social media, however you pay, if you're following up with your clients, whatever your business practices are. Is it that you're a salon owner? Is it that you have your own product line? Are you me? Are you a traveling independent hairstylist that works with brands and has a social media presence? I think that's the misconception.
Yeah.
The misconception is that we're not professionals. The misconception that it dates so far back in time is, oh, you're just a hairdresser. You don't have a college degree. Oh, but what do you really do? What do you really do? Well, some of us can make more than doctors. 6-figure incomes, and that's from a salon owner. You don't have to be me with the follower. I'm talking about hairdressers out there working their butts off, 5, 6, 7 days a week, whether it's they have teams in a salon they're looking after, whether it's their own business. I know hairdressers that aren't on social media. They just really know how to run their business. I mean, they're on social media, but not like a personality on social media. And they have hugely successful businesses. And we're professionals. We have to learn about chemistry. We have to we may not go to school for 4 years, but I went to school for a year, got my license, assisted for 2.5 years, and then I did continued education to this day. So it's all relative at the end of the day. I'm constantly having a new product, a new innovation comes out. We have to go learn what chemistry looks like, how it works inside the inner hair structure and the cuticle and the cortex of the hair. It's quite, and we're also kind of non-licensed psychiatrists and therapists. There's just so much that goes into what we do, and that's, to me, the biggest misconception.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I see a movement, and I love it.
Yes.
Hi everybody, it's David Foster at the Salon EVO booth here at Premier Orlando. I am joined by a very, very special guest, a one-time Salon EVO cover star, the one and only Phillip Wolff. How are you, sir?
How are you doing? Thanks for having me.
Hey, listen, I'm great. We were just talking about the importance of hydration.
That's right.
Because you don't want to lose your voice at a trade show, do you?
You definitely don't want to do that. Although I've been in a close situation at one time, but it worked out.
Phillip, let's get into it. You're a very, very busy creative. There are a lot of things going on. You're juggling a lot of things at one time, and we love that about you. Why is it so important for you to be at Premier Orlando?
I think for me, many reasons. I mean, there's many reasons, but number one, I think for the utmost is so that I can physically see the people, in real life. I think there's something about that. You can watch videos and see pictures and all that sort of thing, watch vlogs and everything, and that's great because that's a way to kind of connect in a way that, you're in the comfort of your own home, things of that nature, but there's just nothing like live education or just hanging out. And I think, it's great to see old friends. It's great to meet new. It's great to meet people that I didn't even know until here.
Now, I'm not going to let you go without a little bit of fun.
Sure.
Don't be nervous now. Our friends at Booksy, we've got this out-the-box activation. So you don't know what I'm going to ask you. I don't know what I'm going to ask you. But it's just some fun questions about your career, about your views on things. So here we go.
Here we go.
Out the box with Booksy. Wow, what a good question to start with. What's the most effective way that you found to stand out from the competition in your area or in your fields?
I have to say, I can only speak for myself. And for me, I grew up in an era where, meaning in hair. I grew up in hair in the 90s. And education was there. I mean, it was such a strong part of the culture, as is today. But I feel like it was very, I don't know what the word is. But I think today when we do it, because if you watch any of Alfredo and I, we're goofballs. You know, we just have fun and we try not to take things too seriously. What we do is a good thing in this profession, but I think the effective thing that worked for me is I just slowly started to be myself. You know, I'm a father of 2, and I'm goofy with my kids all the time. It's just, you know, you like seeing people laugh and have fun, and we love having fun, and that's kind of our thing. We just like to be real about it and have fun.
So be yourself.
Be yourself, you know, whatever that means for you.
What a fantastic answer. But you're not done yet. Philip, what is the most valuable investment you've made in your personal or business or career growth?
The biggest investment.
Like what
Yeah,
made,
by
what
way
made the
of-
biggest difference? Like what was the most, like, not monetary, but
okay.
like, you know, the biggest, like, or most
I'll
important?
tell you. The biggest thing for me was, and now there's 2 parts of this. I'm going to say a main term is education. Now, I know a lot of you hear that before, but for me, it wasn't necessarily, you know, set classes or anything. Of course, that's a big part of it. But for me, I was on a mission, and I did things that were a little bit out of the box. I wanted to be involved in everything from shoots to behind the scenes. And, you know, I spent a good part of my career doing celebrity work, commercial things, runway. I mean, you name it. I wanted to experience as much as I could. And I did things free. I assisted free. You know, it was one of those things where I just invested myself in that way by showing up, connecting, and learning. And even at the time on some of them, I didn't even know what I was really learning until later, funny enough,
Yeah.
because, you know, what's funny is you just start picking up things along the way that you don't even realize until later. You think, wow, thank gosh I did all that stuff, because now I understand this. It's one of those weird things. So if you keep going down that path, I was a yes man. I rarely said no to things unless I physically just couldn't do it. But yeah, I love that. Show up, invest in yourself, because let me tell you, play the long game,
Yeah.
okay? Play the long game.
The third and final question.
Third and final
We're
question.
going to go for the
Oh, boy,
100%
here we go.
records. No pressure, Philip. But 2 unbelievable answers.
We grab them from the bottom too. Oh boy.
Oh, and I've done it for a good reason. Is there a part of your job that gives you the ick?
Oh boy, here we go. Is there a part of my job that gives me the ick? You know what? Huh.
There's got to be, like, come on. There's got
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, there's got to be. Well, you know, here's the thing. Here's one that I actually turned into a strength. How about that?
It's like a job interview here, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
what's your weakness? Oh,
Yeah,
it's
I know.
actually a strength.
Yeah.
I like that.
So, for me, in the beginning, we've all had those difficult clients, you know, the
Yeah,
clients that at the end of the day, they may be upset about something totally different, not even about their hair, but they're going to come in, and no matter what you do, you can't satisfy them that day. Or maybe they have a personality that doesn't match yours, or maybe they're very whatever the case may be. That used to intimidate me so much, and I would kind of just clam up, and I didn't know what to do. But then, funny enough, over the years, I started to get better at how, I don't know. And then I started working at this one salon where that's all they gave me for some reason. Well, you know, when
Difficult
you're
clients.
building, you're happy to get anyone in that chair, right? So, I don't know. I just started to think about being in their mind a little bit and how I would want to be spoken back to, and this, that, and the other. You know, don't let anyone disrespect you. I'm not talking about that, but there's ways to kind of turn things around. And I've sort of learned that over the years. And then I became known as, give it to Philip.
Oh, wow. So you actually turned an ick into an opportunity.
Into an opportunity. And let me tell you, once those people start to understand you, it switches. Now they respect you. And now they're different. They're not that way to you anymore. Trust me, it's one of those things. So instead of being so combative right off the bat or defensive, you know, it was a humbling thing, you know,
love
but I
that.
think it worked out for me in the end.
But you know what? That is fantastic. 3 incredible answers. Unsurprisingly, 100% records. We love that. Philip, I'll do it again. Where can people, first of all, follow yourself?
Yes, so you can find me on most of the social medias out there at Phillip Wolff Hair. That's Philip with 1 L, Wolf with 2 Fs.
That's, again, take note, that's for sure. Where can people find out about the Boss Up Tour?
Right. And for the Booksy Boss Up tour with Alfredo Lewis and I, you can look at what cities we're going to be at, the opportunities, and how much the tickets are. All of that information at totallookcommunity.com or go to our link in our bio.
Fantastic. Philip, inspiration to all.
It was an
Thank
absolute
you so
pleasure.
much.
Thanks for having me.
We'll catch you soon.